You're listening to BlackSwanRadio.com. Thanks for tuning into another one of my magical podcasts. The forecast is bright and sunny. Spring is on its way. Hope you're enjoying your day. Got a couple projects I'm working on. A game plan for 2024 and beyond. You know, I always have to bring you a little bit of food for thought behind this, what I like to call flight music. Something for you to digest on and think about while you travel this world. Right? You know, a lot of us, we want to live with a sense of purpose, a mission. We want to see measurable results. We want to make a measurable difference in the world that we're living in, right? We want to be a contributions to others beyond us. And you know what I like to say to that is that's a process. You know, a lot of people, we come into the system and at first realize some of the flaws in the system at an early age, and now we coming out of high school, you know, wanting to change the system before we have a chance to figure out why the system is the way it is. And perhaps that what the system offers us is a greater good than what it doesn't. Because we can get what we want out of the system that we have as far as results and outcomes. You know, I said early to this young lady at work, I said, think about where all this trauma and drama that people are constantly talking about in our community. The trauma. And, you know, yeah, I understand that we all go through our struggles, but never before in time do I remember people in such a young age in mass using terminology as if they've been out in the world for decades and been battered and bruised by life and hurt by others. I was like, you don't even have a track record of relationships to be able to be really deeply hurt or wounded by another. Your first high school love or your first major relationship, you may have had high hopes, but if it didn't turn out, this is not a suitable reason to be mad at the world or be mad at all species of one type of gender. We have a choice to dwell in the marrow of the past. We have a choice to spend our time, this very moment, any given moment, to worry about what may or may not happen in the unforeseeable future. But what I can guarantee you is the only thing that we actually own, possess, and can control, at least the mind state in which we are existing, is in the now. So this is the reason why I say the only true salvation can be self-mastery, and self-mastery should be the first objective for all of us, because it's only by your faith can any other outcome or results be produced. You must first define, right, who you are. And so you have to think about, okay, how do I define who I am? Who am I? You know, what do I really want in this life? At least if I don't know what I may want in the next 10 years, let's break it down what I want this year. You know, basic, achievable goals that lead me to greater outcomes going on in the future. You know, and what I'm saying is break this down each year where you want to be at financially. You know, if you have no savings, then you want to declare, look, I don't want to ever live again below $2,000 my account. So what this does is now it increases your lowest level. Not to say that won't be tested, but you have to declare this in order to see it. A lot of people, you know, of the young generation, because of our music, because of social pressures like the media and everything else, we start our goals out so high. You know, I want to be a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire, all of these large numbers that you haven't realistically seen or met anyone actually attain. You've only heard about this through, like I said, the music, through the airwaves. This is borrowed trauma, borrowed experiences, borrowed expectations. These are unrealistic expectations for the general public. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have the dream or an ambition to be a millionaire, but what I'm saying is that you don't start with that. You start with, okay, 10 grand is in the savings, is where I want to begin each and every year at my minimum. So what you do is you start using that goal to create the accumulation process, and look at it frequently as you go from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, still living below your means, but allowing yourself to accumulate, putting in the extra work to give you more room to be able to move up in your goals. But you have to have that goal there, and it has to be something that you can watch and see and obtain, or, like I said, see the measurable differences when it comes to finance. So out of each year, you want to spend a good portion of that year doing something extraordinary, you know. So for people in my group, people of my like-mindedness, this is going to be people who love to travel. You know, this is a large planet that we're living on, but we have to understand not only that God has granted us liberty through natural means and supernatural means, but we also have to acknowledge and be grateful for what the lords, the masters of our society has also provided for us in our time and in our age. Right? The aeroplane, ships, bridges, wonderful architecture set upon spectacular vistas and views, restaurants, megalithic structures of the old and the new generations. You can go see the ancient towers or pyramids, what we call, because of our Greek influence, our Greek language, our Greek concepts. But these are relics of the past that are left behind by the ancient ones who inhabited this earth thousands of years before us, sitting in Mesoamerica or across the sea in Mesopotamia and throughout the Nile River Valley. Or we can go see Christ the Redeemer sculpted in soapstone, set upon Mount Corcovado in Rio de Janeiro, spanning his wings or his arms like wings over the city of God in the midst of Rio de Janeiro. The marvelous city south of the equator. This leads to the worldview. So